In life, we all have dreams, we all have goals we want to reach, things we want to accomplish, and a version of ourselves we want to become. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck or chance. It's something much more powerful than that. It's the mindset, the way you think, the way you approach challenges, and the way you respond when things don't go as planned. This is what makes the difference between a winner and everyone else. The mindset of a winner isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. It's something you learn. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what that mindset looks like, how it works, and how you can develop it in your own life. You see, winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. They don't back down when things get hard. They rise to the occasion, and the best part, anyone can do it. If you're ready to take control of your life, push past the obstacles that are holding you back, and unlock your full potential, then you're in the right place. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through what it really takes to have the mindset of a winner. I'm going to talk about the habits, the choices, and the daily decisions that separate winners from everyone else. I'll share the simple yet powerful shifts in thinking that will set you on the path to success, no matter where you're starting from. And I'll show you how you can apply them right now, today. So stay with me. This is your chance to start changing the way you think, and in turn change your life forever. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Winners decide, losers wait. Winners don't wait for the perfect moment to come along. They make their moment perfect. They make the decision, and then they do what it takes. No excuses, no hesitation, no procrastination. They decide, and that decision shapes their entire life. You see, one of the greatest qualities of a winner is their ability to make a decision, not just any decision, but a firm, unwavering decision. The kind of decision that pulls them forward even when the road gets tough, even when the odds seem stacked against them, and even when everyone around them is waiting for something to change before they do anything. Winners know that the power of a decision lies not just in making it, but in sticking with it. They understand that while the world is waiting, they're out there doing. While others are making excuses, they're moving forward. They're not waiting for some magical moment to appear, or for everything to line up perfectly. Winners know that the perfect time is now. If they want something, they make the decision to go after it, and that's what sets them apart. Think about it for a second. In every area of life, whether it's personal, professional, or financial, people are constantly waiting for the right time, waiting for things to get easier, waiting for someone to hand them the opportunity. But here's the truth, the right time never comes. There's always something. There's always a reason to wait. And when you're waiting, you're losing time. Every second you waste waiting for the perfect moment is a second you'll never get back. You can wait for the stars to align, but while you wait, someone else is making decisions, taking action, and getting closer to their goals. They're getting ahead, while you're stuck in the same place. The difference between winners and losers isn't talent, luck, or opportunity. It's the ability to decide. The ability to say, this is it. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make it happen now. Winners don't wait. They decide and act. And let me tell you something. This isn't just about big, life-changing decisions. It's about the small decisions you make every day. Every little choice you make has the power to shape your future. The decision to wake up early and start your day with purpose. The decision to take that first step toward your goals, even when you don't feel like it. The decision to push through when things get tough, when your mind is telling you to quit, when your body wants to give up. Winners understand that making a decision is about more than just saying the words. It's about committing. It's about getting up every single day and doing the work. It's about not waiting for motivation to come along, but creating your own motivation through the decisions you make. It's about taking control of your life instead of letting life control you. Winners don't just decide once, they decide over and over again. Every morning, every hour, every moment, they decide to keep moving forward. This is where most people fall short. They make a decision, but then they hesitate. They start second-guessing themselves. They start wondering if they made the right choice. They worry about what could go wrong, what people might think, and what might happen if they fail. And when they hesitate, they stop. And when they stop, they lose. Winners don't hesitate. They don't second-guess themselves. Once they've made a decision, they go after it with everything they've got. They don't waste time wondering if it's going to work out or if they're doing it right. They just take action. They make adjustments along the way, but they don't let doubt or fear hold them back. They make a decision, and then they do whatever it takes to make it happen. When you decide to do something, you've got to commit. It's all about commitment. A decision without commitment is just a wish, and wishes don't get results. Winners don't wish for things to happen. They don't hope things will work out. They don't sit around waiting for someone to hand them an opportunity. They go out and create their own opportunities. They take their lives into their own hands and make things happen. This is the mindset of a winner. A winner doesn't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for someone to give them permission. They don't wait for things to be easy or for everything to line up just right. They make the decision and they take action. It's that simple. So what do you need to do? Stop waiting. Stop wondering when the right time will come. The right time is now. Make the decision today to move forward, to take action, and to commit to your success. The world will try to tell you that you're not ready, that it's too early, that you're not good enough. But that's just noise. It's just fear trying to hold you back. Winners don't listen to that noise. They decide, and they go. And when they go, they find that the world starts to work in their favor. Things begin to fall into place. Doors start to open. Opportunities start to present themselves. And all because they made a decision. You're not waiting for anything. You're not waiting for someone to give you permission. You're not waiting for some magical sign. You're making a decision and you're moving forward. That's what winners do. And you can do it too. The truth is, you have the power to make your own destiny. The moment you decide, you unlock your potential. The moment you stop waiting and start acting, you start creating your future. The moment you decide, you take control, and from that moment on, nothing can stop you. So what's stopping you? Why are you still waiting? What are you waiting for? Decide today. Take action today. And watch how everything starts to change. You have the power to create your own future, but it starts with one thing, a decision. Winners decide. They don't wait, they make it happen. And today, you can decide to be a winner. Make that decision now. Chapter 2. Winners do what others won't. There's something that separates the winners from everyone else, and that thing is simple but incredibly powerful. Winners do what others won't. They step up when it's difficult. They show up when everyone else stays in bed. They push forward when the crowd is sitting back waiting for someone else to take the lead. If you want to know the secret to success, here it is. Winners are the ones who do what others won't do. While everyone else is making excuses, they are taking action. While others are sitting on the sidelines, hoping for an opportunity to fall into their lap, winners are out there making opportunities for themselves. Let me tell you this right now, there is no substitute for hard work. There is no magic trick, no shortcut, no quick fix. If you want to win, if you want to stand out, if you want to create the life you've always dreamed of, You have to do what others won't. And I'm not talking about doing just a little bit more than the next person. I'm talking about going all in. I'm talking about doing whatever it takes, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when it's hard, even when you want to quit. That's where the real winners are made, when they do what others won't do. Think about it for a second. If success were easy, everyone would have it. If success were something that came without effort, we'd all be at the top already. But that's not the reality. The reality is that success requires effort. It requires you to push yourself when you don't feel like it, to get up when you fall down, to keep going when every part of your body is screaming to stop. Winners are the ones who do that. They're the ones who are willing to go the extra mile, to stay a little longer, to put in more effort than anyone else. And that's what makes all the difference. If you look around you, you'll see that most people are looking for an excuse to stop. They're waiting for things to get easier. They're waiting for the right time, the perfect moment, or the right circumstances. But you know what the winners do? They don't wait. They go out and create their own opportunities. They do the work. They put in the time. They take the extra step. They do what others won't, because they know that's how they'll get ahead. It's easy to sit back and wait for things to happen. It's easy to talk about your dreams, to talk about your goals, and to hope that one day they'll come true. But that's not enough. That's not what gets you results. What gets you results is action. What gets you results is doing the work, even when no one is watching. Winners know that success doesn't just come to you. You have to go out there and grab it. You have to put in the work every single day. It's about getting up before everyone else and working longer than the rest. It's about being willing to push through the tough times when everyone else is giving up. Look, the truth is, most people are waiting for permission. They're waiting for someone to tell them it's okay to go after their dreams. They're waiting for the stars to align before they take action. But the winners, they don't wait for permission. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They make the moment perfect by taking action. They're the ones who are willing to make mistakes, to fail, to fall down, and to get back up again. And you know what happens when you do that? You learn, you grow, you become stronger, and that's how winners are made. By doing what others won't. And here's the thing, doing what others won't isn't just about working harder than everyone else. It's about being willing to take risks. It's about stepping outside your comfort zone and doing things that scare you. It's about pushing past your doubts, your fears, and your insecurities. It's about trusting in yourself, even when the world around you is telling you to play it safe. Winners are the ones who take that leap. They're the ones who go for it even when it's uncertain, even when they're not sure of the outcome. And that's what makes them winners. The winners are the ones who don't give up when things get tough. They're the ones who push through the obstacles, who keep going when others quit, who keep fighting when everyone else is throwing in the towel. They understand that nothing worth having comes easily. They know that the road to success is filled with challenges, and they're not afraid to face them head-on. They don't make excuses. They don't complain. They just do the work. And let me tell you this, when you do what others won't, you'll find that success starts to come a little more easily. You'll start to see the results of your hard work. But here's the thing, the results don't come because you just show up. They come because you do more than what's expected. They come because you put in the extra effort, because you do the things others aren't willing to do. And that's what separates the winners from everyone else. So ask yourself this, are you willing to do what others won't? Are you willing to put in the work when no one else will? Are you willing to step up, take action, and go the extra mile? Because if you are, that's where the magic happens. That's when you start to see results. That's when you start to move ahead, and the rest of the world starts to wonder how you got so far. The reality is that the world is full of people who are waiting for the perfect moment to act. They're waiting for the right time, the right opportunity, or the right circumstances. But winners don't wait for anything. They make their own opportunities. They take action. They go the extra mile. And that's what sets them apart. They understand that success isn't about waiting for things to happen. It's about making things happen. Winners do what others won't. They work harder. They push further. They take action when others sit back and wait. They take risks. They face challenges head on. They show up when others don't. And because of that, they win. And you can too. But it starts with one simple thing: doing what others won't. If you want to succeed, if you want to create the life you've always dreamed of, you have to be willing to do the things others won't do. You have to be willing to go the extra mile. You have to be willing to show up, even when it's hard, because that's what winners do. Chapter 3. No excuses, just results. There's no room for excuses in the life of a winner. Not a single one. Winners don't hide behind excuses. They don't blame circumstances, other people, or the world for their struggles. They understand that the only thing standing between them and success is the story they tell themselves about why they can't have it. And that's the game changer. You see, the world is full of excuses. People are masters at justifying why they didn't succeed, why they didn't reach their goals, why they didn't go after what they really wanted. But winners don't make excuses, they make results. There's a massive difference between making excuses and making progress. Excuses are what hold people back. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to avoid taking responsibility for our actions. They sound convincing, they sound logical, but at the end of the day, they don't get us any closer to where we want to be. They don't move us forward. They keep us stuck in the same place, repeating the same patterns, day after day. Winners don't fall into that trap. They don't waste time explaining why something didn't happen. They figure out how to make it happen. The most successful people in the world have one thing in common. They've learned to stop making excuses. They've learned that no matter what, they are responsible for their own results. They don't blame the economy, the people around them, or their upbringing. They take full ownership of their success and their failures. And this is where most people go wrong. They look for someone or something to blame. They think that if they just had the right circumstances, the right job, the right partner, or the right amount of money, they'd be successful. But winners understand that success doesn't depend on your circumstances. Success depends on your mindset and your willingness to take action. Think about it for a second. Every time you make an excuse, you're letting yourself off the hook. You're saying, "I can't do this because of X, Y, or Z." And in that moment, you're giving away your power. You're giving away control over your own life. But when you stop making excuses, you take that power back. You take responsibility for your actions. You stop waiting for the world to change and start changing yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start making the most of the moment you're in. That's how winners think. That's how they act. They take action, no matter the situation. Here's something I want you to remember. Excuses don't solve problems. They don't help you achieve your goals. All they do is keep you in the same place, spinning your wheels and wondering why nothing is changing. When you stop making excuses, you can finally start focusing on solutions. You can start figuring out how to make things work, even when the odds are stacked against you. Winners don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They look for ways to make things happen, no matter what. There's another important thing I need you to understand. Making excuses is easy. It's comfortable. It allows you to stay in your comfort zone and avoid the discomfort of growth. But growth isn't comfortable. Success isn't easy. If it were, everyone would have it. But it's not easy, and that's why most people don't get what they want. Most people don't have the courage to stop making excuses and face the hard work that comes with achieving their goals. They're looking for a way out, a way to avoid the struggle. But the struggle is where the magic happens. The struggle is where you grow. Winners understand this. They know that in order to get what they want, they have to put in the work. They have to push through the difficult times. They have to stay disciplined when the world around them is falling apart. And that's what sets them apart from everyone else. They don't make excuses when things get tough. They double down. They get creative. They find a way. They don't wait for someone to give them permission. They make their own opportunities. They don't sit around making excuses. They take action, and that's why they win. Here's the thing, the world is full of people who are just waiting for the perfect moment. They're waiting for everything to fall into place. They're waiting for someone to give them the green light. They're waiting for the stars to align. But the winners, they don't wait. They don't waste time hoping that things will magically get better. They understand that they are in control of their own destiny. And they act. They take action. They get moving. You can't wait for everything to be perfect. You can't wait for the right moment. There will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a time when everything lines up perfectly. The key to success is to take action in spite of the circumstances. It's to stop making excuses and start making progress. It's about understanding that you don't need everything to be perfect to start. You just need to start. Now, this doesn't mean that things will be easy. It doesn't mean that success will come overnight. But it does mean that you're on the right path. It means that you're no longer sitting on the sidelines, waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to go after your dreams. You're taking control of your life. You're deciding to do what it takes to succeed, no matter what. That's what winners do. They don't wait for someone to hand them the prize. They go out and earn it. Making excuses keeps you stuck. It keeps you in the same place, day after day, wondering why nothing is changing. But when you stop making excuses, you start moving forward. You start taking control of your life. You start making things happen. The only thing standing between you and your goals is the story you tell yourself about why you can't achieve them. And when you change that story, everything changes. So what's the next step? Stop making excuses. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop looking for someone or something to blame. Take full responsibility for your actions. Understand that no matter what's going on around you, you are in control of your own destiny. Winners don't make excuses, they make results. And you can do the same. The time to stop making excuses is now. Start today. Take responsibility. Take action. And watch your life transform. Chapter 4. Winners develop an unshakable work ethic. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who just get by is work ethic. There's no way around it. If you want to succeed, if you want to make something of your life, you have to develop an unshakable work ethic. Now, I know some people love to talk about success. They love to talk about their dreams, their goals, their visions of the future. They'll tell you about the big plans they have, the things they want to accomplish, the heights they want to reach. But the truth is, it's not the talking that gets things done. It's the doing. It's the work. It's showing up day after day and putting in the effort even when no one is watching, even when no one is applauding you, even when it feels like you're not making any progress. But let me tell you this, winners are made in the grind. Winners are made when they keep pushing forward, even when it's tough, even when it's exhausting. Winners build their success brick by brick, with sweat, with effort, and with a relentless commitment to the work. When we talk about work ethic, we're not just talking about doing the bare minimum to get by. We're talking about going above and beyond. We're talking about doing the things that others aren't willing to do. It's easy to show up when everything's going well, when you're feeling energized, when everything seems to be falling into place. But the real test of your work ethic comes when things get difficult, when the setbacks pile up, when the obstacles seem insurmountable. That's when most people quit. They give up. They tell themselves they've worked hard enough, that they've done enough, that they deserve a break. But winners don't quit. Winners push through. They keep going. They show up even when they don't feel like it. They keep grinding even when it feels like the world is against them. It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. It's about putting in the right kind of effort, focused effort, day in and day out. You can't expect to be successful if you're not willing to put in the time, the energy, the sacrifice that it takes to get there. There are no shortcuts. Success is earned through sweat, determination, and consistency. There are no days off when you're chasing your dreams. If you want to be great, you have to outwork everyone else. You have to be the first one to show up and the last one to leave. You have to be willing to give more than anyone else is willing to give, and that's where the magic happens. The winners are the ones who develop that level of commitment, that level of discipline. They're the ones who realize that the journey to success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about showing up every single day, doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. It's about building habits, routines, and rituals that keep you moving forward, no matter what. There's something powerful about consistency. When you develop a strong work ethic and make a habit of showing up, you start to build momentum. And momentum is the secret weapon of success. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning. It's what pushes you forward when you feel like quitting. It's the thing that makes success inevitable. But it doesn't come easily. It comes with hard work. It comes with discipline. It comes with sacrifice. It means putting in the time when you'd rather be doing something else. It means giving up the instant gratification of today for the long-term rewards of tomorrow. Winners understand this. They know that nothing worth having comes easily. They understand that work is the price they pay for success, and they're willing to pay that price, day in and day out. Building an unshakable work ethic means developing discipline. It means taking control of your time and making sure that you're focused on the things that matter most. It means saying no to distractions, to the things that pull you away from your goals. It means doing the hard things, the things that others shy away from, because you know that's where the growth happens. Discipline is about doing the things you need to do, even when you don't want to do them. It's about doing the work, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about pushing yourself to show up, even when every part of you is telling you to stay in bed and rest. That's what separates the winners from the rest of the pack. Winners understand that discipline is not something you're born with, it's something you create. It's a muscle that gets stronger every time you use it. The more you work on your discipline, the more natural it becomes, and the more disciplined you are, the more success will flow into your life. The reality is that success isn't just about talent or intelligence, it's about discipline. It's about doing the work even when you don't feel like it, even when no one is watching, even when the world is telling you to give up. And that's why discipline is one of the most important traits of a winner. It's the difference between someone who dreams about success and someone who actually makes it happen. But here's the thing. Discipline is not always glamorous. It's not always easy. In fact, it's hard. It's hard to stay disciplined when the rewards aren't immediate. It's hard to push yourself when no one else is around to encourage you. But that's what makes it so valuable. That's what makes it so powerful. The winners are the ones who stick with it, who keep going even when it's tough, who keep doing the work even when it doesn't seem to be paying off. They understand that success doesn't happen overnight. They understand that it's the small, consistent actions over time that lead to massive results. Work ethic isn't just about doing the work, it's about doing it with passion. When you're passionate about what you're doing, the work doesn't feel like work. It becomes a part of who you are. You wake up in the morning excited to get started. You pour everything you have into your work because you love what you do. Passion is the fuel that drives the work ethic. It's what makes you willing to put in the long hours, to push through the obstacles, to keep going when it feels like the odds are stacked against you. When you're passionate about your goals, you'll do whatever it takes to reach them. You'll give it your all, no matter how long it takes. But passion alone isn't enough. You need the work ethic to back it up. Passion without work ethic is just a dream. Work ethic is what turns that dream into a reality. It's the dedication, the effort, the discipline, and the consistency that make the difference between dreaming about success and achieving it. Passion is the spark. Work ethic is the fire that keeps it burning. So let me ask you, are you ready to develop an unshakable work ethic? Are you ready to put in the work, to push through the discomfort, to stay disciplined even when it's hard? Because that's the key to success. Winners are the ones who show up every day, who keep grinding when others give up, who keep going when others quit. If you want to achieve greatness, if you want to build something meaningful, if you want to create the life you've always dreamed of, you need to develop an unshakable work ethic. That's what separates the winners from everyone else. It's the work you put in, the effort you make, the dedication you give. And when you commit to that, when you make that your focus every single day, you'll realize that success is not just possible, it's inevitable. Chapter 5. Control your thoughts. Control your life. Your thoughts are the foundation of everything that happens in your life. What you think shapes who you are and who you will become. If you want to take control of your life, you have to take control of your thoughts. It's as simple as that. If you can master your mind, you can master your life. But here's the kicker. Mastering your mind isn't something that just happens overnight. It's something you have to work at. It's something you have to commit to. If you want to live a life of purpose, success, and fulfillment, it all starts in your mind. Your thoughts drive your actions, and your actions shape your reality. That's the truth. The world we live in is full of distractions. Everywhere you look, there's something trying to steal your focus, trying to take your attention away from what truly matters. But let me tell you this. If you let your mind wander, if you let it get pulled in 1,000 different directions, you'll never be able to accomplish anything of real value. You can't afford to let your thoughts be scattered. You need to be intentional with what you think. Every day, every moment, you are thinking. Your mind is constantly running, and if you don't take control of it, it will control you. It will control your actions, your emotions, and even your future. Think about it for a second. Where are your thoughts taking you? Are they focused on where you want to go? Are they focused on the life you want to build? Or are they consumed by fear, doubt, and worry about things that might never happen? You have the power to choose. You have the power to direct your mind toward positive, empowering thoughts that push you toward success. But most people let their minds drift. They let negative thoughts take over. They let their insecurities and fears control them. And as a result, they live lives full of regret and missed opportunities. Don't let that be you. You see, if you want to be a winner, you have to control your thoughts. That means being aware of the thoughts you're allowing to take up space in your mind. You can't let negativity creep in. You can't let self-doubt take root. You can't let the opinions of others dictate your thoughts. If you want to be successful, if you want to live a life that's truly extraordinary, you have to guard your mind like a fortress. You have to protect it from the garbage, from the negativity, from the people who will tell you that you can't do it. If you're not careful, you'll end up with a mind full of clutter, full of excuses, full of limitations. But if you can take control, if you can choose to focus on what's important, then you can create the life you've always dreamed of. Here's the thing, your mind is like a garden. You have to plant the right seeds, water them and nurture them if you want them to grow. The seeds you plant are your thoughts, and the thoughts you feed your mind will grow into the life you create. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear and negativity, that's exactly what will grow. But if you plant seeds of positivity, ambition and belief in yourself, that's what will grow. It's all about what you choose to focus on. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, when you catch yourself doubting your abilities, make a conscious choice to shift your focus. Replace those thoughts with empowering ones. It takes practice, it takes awareness. But once you start making the shift, it becomes easier and easier. The more you control your thoughts, the more you control your life. Your thoughts are the steering wheel of your life. They direct where you go. They determine your actions. If you think you can't, you won't. If you think you're not good enough, you'll never take the steps needed to prove yourself wrong. But if you believe in yourself, if you believe that you have the power to create the life you want, you'll start making decisions that align with that belief. You'll start taking action. You'll start working toward your goals with a sense of purpose and determination. And that's when things start to happen. That's when success starts to come your way. But it all starts with your thoughts. There are two types of thoughts that most people have. The first are the thoughts that come naturally. The automatic thoughts. These are the thoughts that pop into your mind without you even trying. Most of the time these thoughts are negative. They're thoughts of fear, doubt, worry and insecurity. They're the thoughts that tell you that you can't do something, that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed. But these thoughts don't define you. They're not who you are. You have the power to choose whether or not to accept them. You don't have to believe every thought that comes into your head. In fact, most of them are just lies. They're just your mind trying to protect you from failure, trying to keep you comfortable. But the truth is, growth happens outside your comfort zone. If you want to grow, you have to face those fears head on. You have to push past the negative thoughts and take action anyway. The second type of thought is the one you choose. These are the thoughts you consciously decide to focus on. These are the thoughts that empower you. These are the thoughts that push you towards success. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, make the decision to shift your focus. Replace the doubt with confidence. Replace the fear with courage. Replace the insecurity with belief in yourself. You have the power to do this. But it takes practice. It takes self-awareness. It takes discipline. But once you start taking control of your thoughts, once you start directing them toward positive, empowering beliefs, your life will begin to change. When you control your thoughts, you control your actions. And when you control your actions, you control your life. It's that simple. If you want to change your life, if you want to become the person you were meant to be, it starts with changing your thoughts. You have to decide what kind of life you want to live, and then start thinking like the person who already has that life. If you want to be successful, start thinking like a successful person. If you want to be happy, start thinking like a happy person. If you want to be confident, Start thinking like a confident person. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you want to change your reality, you have to change your thoughts. The most successful people in the world are the ones who have mastered their thoughts. They don't let negativity take over. They don't let fear control them. They don't let the opinions of others dictate their lives. They think differently. They believe in themselves. They believe that they can achieve anything they set their minds to. And that's why they do. Because they've learned to control their thoughts. They've learned to think with purpose and intention. They've learned to focus on what they want, not what they fear. They've learned to believe in their own power to create the life they want. And that's why they're successful. If you want to take control of your life, it starts with your mind. Your thoughts are the key. They're the foundation of everything. So take control of them. Choose the thoughts that serve you. Choose the thoughts that empower you. Choose the thoughts that will help you become the person you were meant to be. Because when you control your thoughts, you control your destiny. It all begins with what's going on in your mind. And once you take control of that, nothing will be able to stop you from creating the life you've always dreamed of. Chapter 6. Pain fuels their growth. Pain isn't something most of us want to experience. When it knocks on the door of our lives, we often try to ignore it, avoid it, or find a way to push it away. But here's a truth that may surprise you. Pain can be the very thing that shapes your success. It's the pressure, the struggle, and the discomfort that create the greatest opportunities for growth. It's the tough moments, the times when you feel like giving up, that have the potential to build you into the strongest version of yourself. The pain you feel today is not just something to get through, it's the very thing that can propel you forward into a future you've never imagined. Think about any successful person you admire. They didn't get to where they are because everything was easy. No, they got there because they didn't shy away from pain. They didn't look for the quick, comfortable path. They leaned into the struggles, the challenges, and the adversity, knowing that each difficulty would make them stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for the bigger challenges ahead. It's the discomfort that transforms us. It's the hardship that forces us to dig deep, to discover strengths we never knew we had, and to push past our limits. Without pain, there is no growth. And without growth, there is no progress. Now, let's be real. Pain is not fun. No one wakes up in the morning, hoping for a tough day. But what if we stopped seeing pain as something to avoid? What if we started to see it for what it truly is? A gift in disguise. Every obstacle, every setback, every moment of struggle is an opportunity for you to evolve into the person you were meant to become. It's easy to coast along when things are smooth, when life is going according to plan. But it's in the tough times that your true character is revealed. It's when things get tough that your real potential shines through. When you push through that discomfort, when you keep going even when you want to quit, that's when you're growing. That's when you're building the mindset of a true winner. Pain pushes you beyond your limits. It challenges you in ways comfort never will. When everything is easy, you don't have to try as hard. But when you're faced with difficulty, you have no choice but to level up. You have no choice but to find the strength inside you that you didn't even know existed. And when you push through, when you don't give up, you come out on the other side, stronger, more capable, and more confident than you were before. The pain is what forces you to find that strength, to dig deeper, to rise to the occasion. Without it, you would never know just how much you're truly capable of. There's something powerful about enduring pain. It's a teacher. It teaches you about your limits, and then it pushes you past them. It teaches you about resilience, about how to bounce back from failure and disappointment. It teaches you about grit, about what it really means to keep going when the odds are stacked against you. It's easy to be motivated when everything is going well. But how do you respond when life knocks you down? Do you stay down, or do you rise back up, stronger than before? That's where true winners are made. In the moments when pain could keep them down, but they choose to rise anyway. If you want to reach new heights, if you want to live a life that's truly extraordinary, you can't shy away from pain. You need to embrace it. You need to understand that pain is a natural part of the journey toward greatness. It's a sign that you're moving in the right direction. When you experience pain, you know you're growing. You know you're pushing yourself to become more than you were yesterday. So instead of running from pain, welcome it. Invite it into your life and let it teach you. Let it mold you into the person who can handle bigger challenges, who can rise above adversity, and who can achieve anything they set their mind to. But let's be clear about something. Pain doesn't mean failure. Just because you're going through something difficult doesn't mean you're losing. In fact, pain is often a sign that you're on the verge of something great. It's when we push through pain that we break through to the other side of success. It's when we push past the discomfort, when we keep going even though it hurts, that we build the momentum that will carry us toward our goals. It's like the process of forging steel. The metal is heated and hammered repeatedly until it becomes something stronger, sharper, and more resilient. You are the metal. The pain is the hammer. And with every strike, you become more capable, more determined, and more powerful than before. Pain also teaches us about patience. It teaches us that not everything worth having comes easily. Success doesn't happen overnight. Achieving your goals doesn't happen with the snap of your fingers. It takes time. It takes effort. It takes enduring the tough moments and continuing to show up, even when you don't feel like it. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. And as you endure the pain and keep moving forward, you start to realize that the journey itself is just as valuable as the destination. The pain you go through is what makes you appreciate the success even more when it comes. It's what gives you the strength to handle even greater challenges down the road. There's a powerful lesson to be learned here. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. It's the thing that will drive you to become the best version of yourself. Every time you face a challenge, every time you endure a struggle, you're getting one step closer to your goals. The people who make it are the ones who don't give up when things get tough. They're the ones who embrace the pain and use it as fuel to keep moving forward. They know that the pain won't last forever, but the strength and wisdom they gain from it will stay with them for the rest of their lives. So the next time you face a challenge, don't shy away from it. Don't be afraid of the pain. Embrace it. Understand that it's a part of the process. Know that it's pushing you towards something greater. Every time you push through pain, every time you choose to keep going, you're one step closer to the success and the life you desire. And in the end, that pain will be the very thing that leads you to your greatest achievements. It will be the thing that makes you stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you ever imagined. So keep going, keep pushing, embrace the pain, and let it fuel your growth. Because when you do, there's nothing that can stop you. Chapter 7. Winners build self-discipline like a muscle. Discipline is one of those words that often gets tossed around without much thought. It sounds good in theory. We all want it. We all know we need it. But how many of us actually develop it to the point where it becomes second nature? If you want to be successful, truly successful in every sense of the word, then you must understand this. Discipline is the key that unlocks everything. It's the foundation on which everything else is built. It doesn't matter how smart you are, how talented you are, or how many opportunities you've been given. Without discipline, all those things will fade into the background. Discipline is what will carry you to the top, what will help you push through the challenges and the doubts, and what will make you a winner. Now, don't get me wrong. Discipline isn't something that's easy to come by. It's not something that you wake up one morning and just decide you're going to have. Discipline isn't a magic pill that you take and everything changes. It takes time, effort, and dedication. It's a muscle, and like any muscle, it has to be developed over time. You don't start lifting weights and expect to bench press 300 pounds right away. No, you start small. You build up your strength slowly, one rep at a time. The same goes for discipline. It's built step by step, habit by habit. And the more you practice, the stronger that muscle becomes. The stronger your discipline, the more unstoppable you become. Discipline is what helps you stay focused when everything else is falling apart. It's what keeps you going when you feel like giving up. You see, it's not the people who start strong who win, it's the people who finish strong. And the only way to finish strong is to develop the discipline to keep going, even when you don't feel like it. It's the ability to wake up every day, no matter how tired, how frustrated, or how discouraged you feel, and still show up. It's the ability to do the work, to put in the hours, to push through the discomfort, to do the things that need to be done, even when no one is watching. That's discipline. That's what sets you apart from the rest. And here's the thing, discipline doesn't mean being rigid or following some strict set of rules. Discipline is about consistency. It's about showing up, day in and day out, and giving your best effort. It's about doing the little things that add up over time. It's about making choices that align with your goals, even when they're hard. It's about staying the course, even when the path gets tough. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't require you to be perfect. You don't need to be flawless in everything you do. What it requires is consistency. It requires showing up and doing the work, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results aren't immediate. And that's how you start to build momentum. That's how you start to see real, lasting change. Think about it for a second. All of the greats, the people who've accomplished extraordinary things, didn't get there by accident. They got there because they developed a work ethic that was unshakable. They built habits, systems, and routines that supported their success, day in and day out. They knew that success wasn't going to happen overnight. They knew that it was the little things, done consistently over time, that would add up to something massive. And they knew that in order to achieve anything meaningful, they had to put in the work. Discipline is not just about making sacrifices or pushing through the grind. It's about doing what you know needs to be done, even when there's no immediate payoff. It's about trusting the process and having the patience to see it through. And here's the truth, the process will test you. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up. There will be days when you question whether it's even worth it. There will be days when you feel like quitting. But that's when discipline kicks in. That's when you tap into that inner strength that keeps you going, even when the results aren't visible. Discipline is what helps you stay in the game long enough to see the rewards. But the most important thing about discipline is this: it's not something that's reserved for a select few. Discipline is available to anyone. Anyone who is willing to put in the time, to put in the effort, and to make the sacrifices. Anyone who is willing to make discipline a part of their daily life. It's not about being born with a certain level of talent or intelligence. It's not about having an unfair advantage. It's about developing the habits and the mindset that will allow you to push through the hard times, to stay focused on your goals, and to keep working even when things get tough. So how do you build this discipline? How do you make it a part of your life? The first step is to start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You don't need to take on every challenge at once. Start with one thing, one habit, one goal, and focus all of your energy on that. Make that one thing your priority, and give it your full attention. Once you've built that habit and made it a part of your routine, move on to the next thing. Add another layer to your discipline. Slowly but surely, you'll build a foundation of habits that will carry you toward your goals. Another key to building discipline is learning to embrace discomfort. Discipline doesn't feel good all the time. It's not always fun or easy. But the more you can learn to tolerate discomfort, the stronger your discipline will become. It's about doing the hard things, even when they feel uncomfortable. It's about getting out of your comfort zone and pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. The more you push yourself, the more your discipline muscle grows, and the easier it becomes to tackle even bigger challenges. And finally, remember that discipline is a choice. Every single day, you have the choice to show up or not. You have the choice to do the work or to procrastinate. You have the choice to put in the effort or to sit back and wait for things to happen. It's easy to blame circumstances or people for your lack of progress, but the truth is that your success is entirely in your hands. You are in control. The choice is yours. So choose discipline. Choose to show up every day, to put in the effort, to stay focused on your goals. Because that's what will get you to the finish line. And when you do, when you develop that unshakable discipline, nothing will be able to stop you. Chapter 8. Winners ignore the opinions of losers. Winners don't get distracted by the opinions of others. In fact, the opinions of others are one of the quickest ways to derail your progress and steal your focus. Think about it for a second. How many times have you let someone's words or judgments knock you off course? How many times have you doubted yourself because someone else didn't believe in you? The moment you let the opinions of others dictate your actions, you lose control. You lose your ability to make decisions for yourself and follow your own path. If you want to be a winner, you must learn to ignore the noise, to drown out the negative voices, and to stay focused on your own journey. This is one of the most powerful things you can do for your success. It's easy to get caught up in what other people think. It's natural to want approval and validation, but the truth is, those external opinions don't matter in the grand scheme of things. They don't define who you are or determine what you can achieve. The only opinions that matter are the ones that come from within. What do you believe about yourself? What do you know in your heart you're capable of? That's the only voice you need to listen to. Everything else is just noise, and if you let that noise influence you, it can take you off track and prevent you from achieving your true potential. Now, let me be clear. This doesn't mean you should ignore constructive feedback or dismiss advice from people who genuinely have your best interests at heart. There's a difference between the kind of feedback that helps you grow and the kind of opinions that hold you back. You have to be smart about it. But the majority of opinions that you encounter on a daily basis, the ones that make you doubt yourself, the ones that criticize, the ones that try to tell you what you should or shouldn't be doing, those are the opinions you need to let go of. They don't serve you, they don't help you move forward, and they definitely don't help you grow. Winners understand this. They don't let the opinions of others dictate their lives. They don't waste time worrying about what someone else thinks of them. They are laser-focused on their own vision, their own goals, and their own path. They know that success is not about pleasing others or meeting their expectations. It's about fulfilling your own potential and creating the life that you want. And to do that, you must stay true to yourself. You must trust in your own abilities and your own instincts. And you must be willing to ignore all the voices that try to steer you off course. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to stop seeking validation from the outside world. People will always have opinions. Some will praise you, and some will criticize you. Some will tell you you're doing great, and others will try to bring you down. But the truth is, none of that matters unless you allow it to. When you stop seeking approval and validation from others, you reclaim your power. You stop letting others control your emotions and your decisions. You start making choices based on what's best for you, not what's going to make someone else happy or comfortable. Here's the thing, you cannot please everyone. It's impossible. There will always be people who don't agree with you, who don't like what you're doing, or who think you should be doing something else. And that's okay. You don't need to get everyone's approval. What you need is to stay true to yourself and your vision. You need to have the courage to pursue what you believe is right for you, even when others may not understand it. It's your life. You are the one who has to live with the choices you make. No one else has to walk in your shoes. So why should their opinions matter more than your own? When you let go of the need for approval, something incredible happens. You start to feel a sense of freedom. You start to make decisions based on what you truly want, not based on fear of judgment or rejection. You begin to trust yourself more. And as you trust yourself more, you become more confident in your decisions. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop overthinking. You stop letting the opinions of others make you doubt your abilities. Instead, you stand firm in your choices and move forward with confidence, knowing that you're doing what's best for you. This is the mindset of a winner. A winner is someone who isn't swayed by the opinions of others. A winner is someone who stays focused on their own path, regardless of what anyone else thinks. A winner knows that the only opinion that matters is their own, and they don't waste time seeking validation from people who are not living their lives or walking their journey. They know that success is about following their own instincts, staying true to their vision, and doing what needs to be done to achieve their goals. It's easy to get caught up in other people's expectations. But when you start living your life for someone else's approval, you lose sight of what really matters. You lose sight of your own dreams and your own potential. You start making decisions based on what other people think, rather than what's truly best for you. And when you do that, you rob yourself of the opportunity to live the life you were meant to live. So how do you block out the noise and stop caring about what others think? First, you need to develop a strong sense of self-worth. You need to believe in yourself and your abilities, even when others may not. You need to know that you are worthy of success, happiness, and everything else that comes with living a fulfilling life. When you have that inner confidence, you won't be as easily swayed by the opinions of others. You'll start making decisions based on your own values, your own goals, and your own vision. Another way to block out the noise is to stay focused on your goals. When you have a clear vision of what you want to achieve, the opinions of others won't matter as much. You'll have a sense of direction, and you'll be able to filter out the distractions that come your way. You'll be able to stay focused on what's important to you and not let the opinions of others pull you off course. And finally, remember that success is a personal journey. It's not about meeting other people's expectations. It's not about living up to someone else's standards. It's about fulfilling your own potential and creating the life you want. When you focus on your own path and stop letting the opinions of others dictate your choices, you'll find that success becomes a lot easier to achieve. You'll become unstoppable because you won't be looking to anyone else for validation. You'll be the one in control, and that's when the magic happens. Chapter 9. Winners take massive action. Now, not later. Winners are known for one thing: taking action. They don't waste time sitting around waiting for the right moment or for everything to be perfect. They act. They move forward, even when the conditions aren't ideal, and that's what sets them apart from everyone else. You see, most people talk a good game. They have all the ideas, they make all the plans, but they never actually do anything. They wait for the stars to align, for all the pieces to fall into place, and for the universe to give them a sign. But by the time they get all that, the opportunity is gone, and someone else has already taken action and reaped the rewards. What separates the winners from the losers is simple. Winners don't wait. Winners understand that the key to success is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating the moment. It's about making the decision to act, regardless of the circumstances. It's about stepping out into the unknown, taking that first step, and trusting that things will fall into place as you go. The truth is, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you delay, the more excuses you make, and the more fear you allow to creep in. The longer you wait, the more likely it is that you'll never take that first step at all. Now I know some of you are sitting there thinking, "But Jim, I don't feel ready yet. I don't have all the answers. I don't have everything in place." Well, let me tell you something. You will never feel 100% ready. Success doesn't come to the prepared, it comes to the brave. It comes to those who take the leap, even when they don't have all the answers. It comes to those who are willing to make mistakes, to fail, and to learn along the way. Because that's what growth is. That's what progress is. It's about moving forward despite the uncertainty. It's about trusting yourself enough to take action, even when you don't know what's on the other side. Waiting for the perfect conditions or for everything to fall into place is a trap. And the sad truth is, it's the reason so many people never get anywhere. They get stuck in the planning stage. They get stuck in the thinking stage. They think about what they want to do. They plan for it. They research it. They make lists, but they never actually start. And then years go by, and they wonder why they're still in the same place. The answer is simple: because they didn't take action. The only way to truly make progress is to take massive action, right now, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. The longer you wait, the more momentum you lose, and momentum is key. Once you start moving, things start to happen. You start to learn, you start to adjust, you start to figure things out. But it all starts with that first step. It all starts with deciding that you are going to act, no matter what. Taking action is not always easy. It's not always comfortable, but it's always necessary. Winners know this. They know that in order to achieve anything, they have to take that first step, even when it's hard. They know that the journey won't always be smooth. They know that there will be challenges, setbacks, and obstacles along the way. But they also know that those challenges are what make them stronger. They know that success isn't about avoiding failure. It's about pushing through failure, learning from it, and coming out stronger on the other side. When you take action, you put yourself in a position to succeed. You create momentum. You begin to see opportunities that you wouldn't have seen if you were sitting on the sidelines. You start to build confidence because you're no longer just talking about what you're going to do, you're actually doing it. And with every step you take, you get closer to your goals. It's not about how big the step is, it's about how many steps you take. Now I understand that fear can hold people back from taking action. I get it. Fear is a powerful force. But the truth is, the only way to overcome fear is to act in spite of it. When you take action, fear doesn't go away, but it gets smaller. The more you do, the less power fear has over you. You start to realize that fear is just a feeling, and feelings are not always based on reality. Most of the time, the things we're afraid of don't even happen. And even if they do, we learn how to deal with them. The key is not letting fear stop you from moving forward. Fear is going to be there, but you don't have to let it control your actions. Another thing that holds people back is perfectionism. People think that everything has to be perfect before they can start. But the truth is, perfection doesn't exist. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you will never start. You'll keep waiting for the right moment, the right time, the right conditions, and guess what? It will never come. Perfection is an illusion. The key to success is progress, not perfection. It's about getting started, learning along the way, and improving as you go. It's about taking one step, then another, and making progress every single day. I can't tell you how many people I've met who have incredible ideas, incredible dreams, and incredible potential, but they're stuck because they're waiting for everything to be perfect. They have this fear that if they don't do things perfectly, they'll fail. But the truth is, you're not going to get everything right on the first try. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. Mistakes are part of the process. They are the lessons you need to learn in order to grow. But none of that can happen if you don't take action. You don't have to have all the answers right now. You don't have to know everything. But you do have to start. You have to take that first step, even when it's scary, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you don't feel ready. Because that's the only way you'll ever get anywhere. The journey starts with action. Success starts with action. And if you want to make your dreams a reality, you have to take action today. So stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Stop putting it off. The time to act is now. The longer you wait, the more you lose. The more you delay, the further you push your dreams out of reach. Winners don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the perfect moment by taking action. And that's exactly what you need to do. Take action today. Make that decision. And watch your life start to change. Chapter 10. Winners never let failure define them. Failure is something that everyone faces at some point in their lives. No one is exempt from it. It's a part of the journey. It's not something you can avoid. It's not something you should fear. In fact, it's something you should embrace. Because failure is not the end of the road. It's simply a lesson. It's a stepping stone. The problem comes when people allow failure to define them. The moment they face a setback or make a mistake, they see it as evidence that they're not good enough, that they're not capable, and that they should give up. But here's the truth. Failure doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond to failure. What defines you is whether you allow it to hold you back or whether you use it to fuel your growth. Winners never let failure define them. They understand that failure is not permanent. It's just a temporary obstacle. It's a setback, but it's not the end. It's part of the process. And when you look at failure that way, it no longer has power over you. When you realize that failure is just a lesson in disguise, you stop fearing it. You stop seeing it as something to avoid and start seeing it as something to learn from. Because the truth is, you can't succeed without failing. It's impossible. Failure is the soil from which success grows. It's the foundation upon which great achievements are built. Think about all the people who have achieved greatness. Think about the legends, the ones we look up to, the ones we admire. They didn't get there by avoiding failure. No, they got there because they failed. And they failed a lot. But they never gave up. They never let those failures stop them from pursuing their dreams. They used each failure as an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to get one step closer to success. You think about someone like Thomas Edison, for example. He failed thousands of times before he finally created the light bulb. And when he was asked about his countless failures, he didn't see them as failures at all. He saw them as experiments. He said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's the mindset of a winner. That's how winners look at failure. Winners don't let failure crush their spirit. They don't let it take away their belief in themselves. Instead, they let it build their resilience. Every time they fail, they get stronger. Every time they fall, they get back up. They understand that failure is not something to be feared. It's something to be conquered. They understand that failure is just a detour, not a dead end. And they understand that the only way to truly fail is to stop trying. As long as you keep going, as long as you keep learning, as long as you keep moving forward, you are succeeding. I know many of you have experienced failure. Maybe you've started something and it didn't work out. Maybe you've tried again and again, only to face more setbacks. It's easy to feel like you're not cut out for it, like maybe you just don't have what it takes. But let me tell you something, that's not true. You are capable. You have everything inside you that you need to succeed. The only thing standing in your way is the way you view failure. If you keep letting failure define you, you'll never get where you want to go. But if you change your perspective, if you start to see failure as part of the process, as something that's helping you grow, you'll keep moving forward. You'll keep pushing through the obstacles, and eventually you'll reach the success that's waiting for you on the other side. Winners know that failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. In fact, failure is often a sign that you're on the right path. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. If you're not facing challenges, you're not pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. And if you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. Winners understand that each failure brings them closer to their goal. They know that success doesn't happen overnight, and that the road to success is filled with bumps, detours, and obstacles. But they keep going, they keep pushing, and they keep learning. And that's what makes them winners. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is to let failure convince you to quit. So many people make the mistake of stopping when things get tough. They give up when they face a setback. But that's not what winners do. Winners know that the only way to lose is to quit. They know that failure is not the end of the journey. It's just a part of it. And as long as you keep going, as long as you keep learning, as long as you keep moving forward, you are on the right path. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who keep going after they fail. They are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They are the ones who learn from their mistakes, adjust their course, and keep moving forward. And that's what you need to do.